Stempowski.
That's it. Stempowski.
I'm just going to call you Deni. Okay?
That's fine.
All right. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, so glad to have you in the studio. And we're going to talk about some great things going on. You've got very busy and great things going on.
I do.
We'd like to thank our sponsors this morning of Coffee Club. What a beautiful morning we've got. Sunshine coming in the window like that. We'll take it for sure. We have Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Perlee Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Windhorse for the Home and Paoli in English, and McAllister Land Consulting. Want to thank our wonderful sponsors for bringing us Coffee Club every morning right here on WSLM AM and FM. All right, let's see what today is. Today is the 28th day of March. So, Nini, how do you think this is? Are we going in like a lamb, going in like a lion, coming out like a lamb for March?
So far it seems like we're going to go out like a lamb.
I know. Bad.
So, but
Not bad.
Yeah. And we kind of came in with February and beginning of March was kind of hectic with some of the weather stuff. So
yeah, kind of
seems to be going pretty
nice. I like it. Like it. Especially with Easter coming up on Sunday, that'll be nice. Yeah, beautiful. All those Easter bonnets,
Yeah.
This is Children's Picture Book Day. I love the children's picture books.
Too.
I love books. Too. And then when they have the illustrated, they have the photos and the pictures and stuff. It's always so cute. Eat an Edie's Pie Day, and it looks like the chocolate with the ice cream. The Edie's, like the Edie's ice cream.
Oh, I could do that.
I could do that too.
Yeah, I could do that for breakfast.
I could too. I'm with you on that. Whoever said you can have ice cream for breakfast?
Exactly.
Right? The breakfast of champions. This is Maundy Thursday. Okay, National Black Forest Cake Day. Black Forest, it's got the cherry and the chocolate.
Right. Yeah. See, that doesn't do much for me. I'm not, not a big cherry fan. You'll eat
that
for me?
I'll eat your piece for you. Okay. National Hot Tub Day.
I can do that.
Ooh, we could eat some Edie's ice cream, sitting in a hot tub. We need to be broadcasting here from a hot tub.
That's right.
That's what we need to be doing. National Something on a Stick Day, and it shows like a corn dog. The State Fair has got. Ooh. Do we need to go? Is this an alert? I feel like Paw Patrol or something. I don't know. I don't know if I need to. I feel like Batman too. Do I need to fire up the
bat signal? Get the bat signal going.
Yes, we'll get it going. I don't know. You got all those toys over there? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be a part with you here, Deni. You go, I go. Anyway, so National Something on a Stick, but the State Fair has always got. They have this. They take a pickle and they put a hot dog in the middle of it and they deep fry it. It's like a corn dog, but with a pickle.
Yes.
It's like
I could do that.
It's like so good.
Yes.
So I tried to do it at home. I couldn't get. I'm not that talented with deep fried like that. I couldn't get the crust to stay on the pickle. So there's got to be some kind of secret science to that, So, but anyway, it is so good. So anybody going to the State Fair? Anyway, I love a good corn dog. What about you?
I do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it'll be fair time before we know it.
Absolutely.
Piano Day. Can you play the piano?
No.
I took lessons.
I did too. But
it did not click.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love to hear someone playing the piano. Respect Your Cat Day. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Sissy
Baby.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. Weed Appreciation Day. Ooh, I hate the weeds. Oh, and they're coming up so rapidly.
Appreciation?
I know.
I don't know.
I don't. I can't hardly stand them, honestly. Take it or leave it. So those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy for sure. All right, let's talk about what we got going on. First of all, you took on a new role, and we want to say I was a huge fan of Desi Alexander,
yes.
And she did a fantastic job. And I'm sure, and I think probably, I feel like she's still young. I feel like what her job and what your new job, I feel like that it's got to be a lot for one person.
It is.
And I think that probably at some point it's time to say goodbye. Let someone else.
Yep, she did a great job, and
yes,
she kept everything going, and she ran 911 also.
Oh yeah.
So they separated those jobs now, but before she did both, and that was a handful.
If you go through all of the emergencies that she went through, I mean, we've had some really dandies that she has had to, and. I know I've always bugged her a lot on her trail a lot, but she was always very kind about it, about making sure. Of course, her number one her number one priority was safety.
Right.
And making sure, was whatever was going on.
Right.
But she also kept us informed.
Right. You got to get the word out to the public of what's going on,
yeah.
and keep everybody
yeah.
up to date.
Yeah. So she did a fantastic job, and hope she's enjoying her
retirement.
Yes,
yeah, I hope so
good for
too.
her. Yeah. Maybe she's on a beach somewhere enjoying
Yeah.
it. Hopefully
she's thinking about us.
Yeah, I'm sure she's. I'm sure she's as she gets her say her drink by the poolside. I don't know that she's thinking about us, Deni. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. But good for her. But so she's handed the torch to you. Okay, so let's talk about your career before you leading up to this.
I have been in emergency services as of May 6th. It'll be 40 years.
Oh, awesome.
I'm from northeastern Ohio. So I'm from a town or county just west of Cleveland, Lorain County. I was the 911 assistant director there, and I worked various different roles as dispatcher for years. And then I was working here full time as a dispatcher, and now I work part-time dispatcher and then part-time emergency management.
Is this something you've always wanted to do? Because you've had to start at an early age, young age.
Yeah, I was 21 when I started.
Oh, wow.
Now I just told my age, but that's okay.
No, nobody's doing math.
Yeah, I have always wanted to do this. Always fell in love with emergency services. The way I actually fell into it, I was going to school for corrections, and we had to do an internship. And I went to the Mahoning County Sheriff's Department in Youngstown to do my internship, and went in and learned the basics of dispatching, because at the time the corrections officer for the females was also the dispatcher. And the next time I went in, she had called off and they said, "No, you got it." And I was terrified, and by the time I left that day I was hooked. And I've been alive for ever since.
Well, I don't think people understand all that goes into a dispatch and all the I don't think that as far as making sure, you have a lot, you are the center, the hub there.
We're the first responder.
Yeah. And so how you talk to the person on the other line, and then also communication has to be huge. You have to be huge, great communication.
Correct.
To inform the officers
what's going on, get them there safely, make sure you get everybody that needs to respond to things there safely. We have a lot of training we have to do. We have to recertify every couple years, to recertify for everything that we do, because we give pre-arrival instructions. So if somebody is down and not breathing, we talk you through CPR. If someone is choking, we talk you through the Heimlich. So we are giving you instructions, but you are our hands to try to save somebody's life.
Right. At 21, I can't even imagine, how young, trying to jump right in. Do you remember, some of the, first early, 911 calls? Do you remember, do you remember some of the urgent emergency calls?
Don't forget, when I started, there was no 911.
I was going to say, I didn't think so. No, I didn't think so.
911 came to our county in Lorain County in 1989, and I was the communications supervisor, and then I moved up to 911 coordinator. And going through that the first time and seeing some of the stuff, and to what it is now, just looking back at when I first started as a dispatcher to now, how things have changed. You don't have the big wide carriage typewriter, which is what we used to keep our logs on. And, some of the things, we used to have a book that you looked up license plates in for the county.
Oh, wow.
Because we didn't have the computer.
Right.
And now everything's at the tip of our fingers.
Right. So going back, this is just so interesting, and I appreciate you sharing all this. We're going to get to many other things, but this is so behind the scenes. So what's cool though is because you were country before country was cool. You were there before 911.
Right.
So
school.
whenever 911 was coming about, at first were you for it, or could you understand it, or did you think, oh, this is going to be great?
And 911, when it started, was just a phone number that they used.
Right.
So they would take, the local, and of course everybody still had home phones. They didn't have cell phones.
Right, yeah.
So your home phone rang into the police department that was responsible for your area by just dialing the number 911. And then as time progressed, it became the enhanced 911 system, where we would get a phone number. And then now we get phone number, address, and things like that for a landline. And then if you call on a cell phone, we can send a bid out and try to find your location that way.
Okay.
So, things have changed, and now there's, text to 911. If you have an emergency where you can't talk, you're afraid of somebody that's there, you can text us. And we answer text messages.
That's
and
wonderful.
Send out officers.
It's amazing, like, how far we've come.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and it's amazing. You go back, I mean, years ago, when before all of this, it's just it's sad of all the things that probably could have been maybe helped a little bit more if we'd had this service in.
That's correct.
Yeah,
yes.
It couldn't hurry up and get here soon enough.
Right.
And it's interesting because, like, like I was obviously around, but like I forgot, like almost like a world without 911.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's almost like we've had it.
You hear about it all the time. It's
yeah.
And that has been drilled into us. If you have an emergency, you dial 911.
Right, and I think that's it's so valuable and it's so important.
Absolutely.
And you think about and I don't remember how it was created, but hats off for the people that the history behind it.
Absolutely.
And so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so you've been starting since 21. Have you had a little bit of a how do you do it, like emotional and physically? Do you take a break a little bit? What's your
it does get to you emotionally sometimes,
yeah.
depending on the call.
Yeah.
The call about Cairo, that was my call.
Okay.
And that one got to me a little bit. And
yeah.
You just have to you have a partner there now, and when you just need to walk away, and you got maybe 5 minutes to get your crap together, and then you get back in there and take the next call.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of the culture. When I'm not there, I spend time with my family,
sure.
And my animals, and I crochet. I do all kinds of things to just chill.
Right, sure. Yeah, and well, I think it takes a special person.
Yes.
And I've heard of that before, where it's very, and I think sometimes we don't always remember that or realize that, and that's what I wanted to bring up and bring
yes.
the point to.
It does take a special kind of person, because you need to turn it on and turn it off, because you can be sitting there doing absolutely nothing because nothing's happening, and all of a sudden everything lights up and there's a major emergency.
Yeah.
And then you got to jump in emergency mode,
yeah.
get everybody where they got to go, give them all the information that they need, and then you're back down.
Yeah.
And then you're back up. And
yeah.
You're back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course you're going all night long too, so that's something I always want to remind everybody, just because you lay your head down on the pillow, the emergency management, our officers and dispatch, everybody's still
there
going on. The world is still turning.
Right. We're still there to answer the phones. We're there to send you the ambulance, the fire trucks, whatever you need.
Yeah.
We're there 24/7.
Yeah.
No holidays off, no anything off. You work it all.
Yeah.
We worked all through the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's not something, the offices were closed and stuff. We just couldn't. We had to go through all types of testing to get in the building and things like that, but we had to keep going.
Right, yeah.
I people needed us.
Yeah. And our sheriff, Britt Miller, did really good at making sure everybody stayed safe.
He certainly did, yes.
Because he knew that this needed to stay. What I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't need anybody sick,
right.
there. So he was which I think as a leader, that's very great.
Yeah, he had to change a lot of rules, rules for the jail, rules for his road
sure.
guys, rules for us.
Yeah.
Just different things that had to come up that, suddenly the world changed.
Right. But it worked out. He did a great job because it did keep going. That's there
correct.
wasn't anything nothing missed a beat.
Right.
And that's really good. So anyway, congratulations on your new job.
Thank you.
So what will be the difference, some of the things that some of your duties from what you've been doing?
An emergency management director, basically, I come up with all the plans that we hope we never use. So, if there's a tornado, if there's a large chemical spill, there's a plan in place. And, we know who to call, who's going to handle what, who's going to take care of certain things. And that's what emergency management does, is, that and special events like the fair, the eclipse, which is coming up, those type of things that, we make sure everybody's in place, everybody has a plan. We plan for the worst, we hope for the best.
Love that.
But you got to have a plan.
Right. Well, and I think that's sometimes people don't realize all that's going on.
Right.
That's being done. And that's where I really am so happy that we can bring that out and show to people, there's just so much more that's going on to this. It just
right.
doesn't happen.
That's correct.
Yeah. So going back on the with this day and age, we have a lot more where our fire department and our police department work together, and that's been really works out wonderful.
Yes.
And EMS, you know, I mean, everybody.
Yes, everyone works well together.
All three of them work well together, and they're all so professional. But it's also where it really everybody helps each other in the middle of emergency.
Sure.
And we're seeing more calls where they're complimenting each other.
Right.
And helping each other.
There's a lot of calls that we, you know, if we have to send EMS, that it's not safe for them to go. So we will send an officer to make sure that the scene is safe before they go in and treat the person. There'll be, you know, fires where the roads need blocked, or, you know, some contact needs to be made about something. The officers jump in and take care of that to help the fire departments. You know, so we all do work together and try to make any type of emergency, whether big or small, go smoothly.
Well, and as you as the director, you have to stay in contact with all three. I mean, really stay right up with them.
Right. Any emergency responders, and that also includes the Red Cross, Salvation Army. I need to, the local businesses, as you know, you're on the local emergency planning committee with me. We need to have all the businesses on board. So if something big happens, we know who we can go to, what we can, you know, can we get water? Can you order, you know, can you get us stretchers? Can you get us whatever? I have to know who to go to and call them into action.
Right. And I am on that, and I'm very proud of being on that, because it really, I mean, you learn a lot for sure. And I think, and what a blessing for our Salem schools having 3 safe rooms.
Absolutely.
And Deni, we know wonderful. That's community. You know, it's it's public school and it's owned by the community, and what a blessing that it can be utilized.
And I don't know if a lot of people know that the public can use that in time of an emergency. You know, if we have tornadoes or something coming in that are imminent, if you have the time to get there and you can be in the safe room. Yeah,
and we do. Yeah, we try to, you know, make sure people know it, you know, because that's something that, you know, has been a huge blessing in getting that. And I feel like when you're given something, you know, a gift, you better use it or you'll lose it, you know.
Right.
And I think that this gift has been given to us, and therefore we share it with, you know, it's a community, everybody. Right. So I feel as a school corporation, you know, it's important to know that it is utilized for the public, you know, and that's a blessing to have that right here in kind of the central hub here in Salem.
Right.
You know? Even though, you know, our county is a big county.
It certainly is. And it's the 7th largest in the state of Indiana.
So you're not just Salem, you're the county.
I am the county, right. So. I do everything. Yeah.
I do everything.
I do.
I mean, that's like crazy.
Camelford,
you know,
Pekin, anything, and any of the townships.
It's
I work with them too.
It's a lot of area there to cover.
And the fire chiefs have been phenomenal helping me through this transition.
Aren't they fantastic?
They sure are.
And you know, I'm going to jump in real quick. I know I'm going squirrel down the road, but whenever you hear like volunteer fire departments having, you know, a fish fry or some kind of a fundraiser, always support them.
Right.
Because
that's how they make their money to get the stuff that they need, because there's just a lot of stuff is huge amounts of money.
Yes.
Always support your local emergency services, no matter who it is.
I agree. And you know, it's amazing when you're at a tragedy or something going on and you see everyone pulling up, and they're like, I guess their mindsets, you know, they're so focused and they're so professional. It just, it's amazing.
And with the exception of Salem, they're all volunteer.
I know.
And Salem has volunteers too. I mean, they're manned, but they also have volunteers that come in for every call. You know, they give up their home time with their families. They work full-time jobs.
I know.
But they still come out in the middle of the night and do what they got to do, and then go to work the next morning.
Yeah. So they're
fantastic people.
Yeah, and they do it for the right reason. They don't do it for the guts or the glory.
Right.
Know?
And they don't do it for the money, because they don't
No.
So
the word volunteer comes to mind. So anyway, always support them, you know, in any shape or form. Okay, love that so much. Well, so now as far as the dispatchers and the police, your location is at the sheriff's department.
At the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. We're based out of the sheriff's department, and we dispatch for all the fire departments. Salem has their own dispatch currently, but for everything else, we dispatch them.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we've got a lot going on. We got coming up, and of course, you know, right now we're going to be, you know, April is kind of weather alert, making sure people remember. And it's always, my girls, we used to do this when the girls were little. We would do tornado drills at home. You know, what to do in case of a tornado or a fire. And I'm sure the weather preparedness is always a good time.
One of the things I would like to do is I'd like to go out to the schools. Once I get settled into everything, maybe next year, go into the schools and talk to the kids about preparedness and having an emergency plan. And, you know, what to do if you get separated from your family and things like that. I did that before when I worked for emergency services. And I enjoyed going to the schools and talking to the kids because they have some great questions.
Sure they do, yeah.
That, you know, that are on their minds, but they just don't bring them up because, you know, who really talks about tornadoes, you know?
Right.
So, but they do have a lot of questions about it, a lot of fears, and they'll talk to me about it because I'm not mom. I'm not, you know.
Right.
So.
Well, and I think that just is one more layer. You know, I always, you know, even though like I did this with my girls, we did this with our girls, you know, they would kind of giggle and laugh. You know how, like, really, you know what I mean? Yeah. But hearing another person say it too, sometimes, you know, it's just that one other layer that can help, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, Mom's not crazy. This is actually something people should do.
Mom's not losing it. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's good. Well, I know the schools would welcome that for sure. They would welcome you on that. And I know a lot of times the fire department and the police department come just to, you know, do kind of the
fire safety and different things like that. But I'd like to do the weather safety.
I think that's great. Good, well played for sure. All right, so we're gearing up, getting ready. We got a big event coming up. The Total Eclipse coming up on April the 8th.
That's correct.
So just around the river bend here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
A week from Monday.
Yeah.
And we actually, you know, everybody's talking about the couple minutes that's going to be totally dark here, but people have to realize that it starts here at military time, at 1:49 in the afternoon, and it doesn't come totally uncovered until 4. So that's a long span of time. So, you know, not only are people coming for the 2 minutes of total coverage, but they're going to, you know, watch as it progresses.
And so we know that the line goes for the total. If for those that
the line of totality,
the longer would go more like towards Bloomington. Oh wait, I've got it.
Yeah, Bloomington, right? They have a 4-minute time. We have a 2-minute total, and they have a 4-minute total.
Right, and I think here's what I've got it. Bloomington 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Bedford 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Mitchell 3 minutes 24 seconds. Brownstown 3 minutes 7 seconds. Seymour 3 minutes 6 seconds. Paoli 2 minutes 49 seconds. Scottsburg 54 seconds. And Pekin, no data for Pekin, but it looks like probably is Bloomington, or I believe even the Vincennes area too.
Right, and Pekin is not in totality. They're in like 98%, but they will not have the totality where you have what they call the corona, which is what all the buffs are trying to get a picture of.
All right, and Salem's 1 minute and 58 seconds, actually, where it's actually in the
total.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of interesting. So I mean, the different parts and back in 2017, I was at the Kentucky there with the governor.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember what part of Kentucky it was, but and it was very
Hopkinsville.
Thank you. Where was I at? Thank goodness someone remembers, you know, where I was at. I know I was somewhere. Okay. And anyway, and it was really these are very interesting, very fascinating, and something we won't see for
40 years.
Yeah, which who knows if we'll see that?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Right? You know, so it's really it's really very good, very interesting for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. If you think about some of the kids now that are going to be seeing it, they'll be able to tell their grandchildren about it.
Yeah.
When they see the next one. Right.
And I think that, you know, with Salem schools, you know, not having school worked out well. I want to explain that for people maybe that didn't understand that. It was 140, is it?
No, when it starts, but the actual totality is from 3:06 to 3:08, which is school bus time.
Right, and that's where I was like so concerned with the school buses, because
Absolutely.
I felt like with traffic and school bus, you know, and then you know, school buses stopping and children getting off.
Yeah, in total darkness.
Yes, and if you know, and we hate to think that, but you know, when you talk to some of the times the superintendents, some people don't stop when that school bus stops.
That's correct.
Which I hate to think that. You know, I mean, I don't even want to. I can't believe that people wouldn't do that. But when that arm's out, sometimes they don't stop.
Right.
And it was just for the safety reason and the making sure that our bus drivers, being fair to them too,
Right.
and trying
all three of the school districts are closed.
Yeah, and I think that works out really well.
I think so too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think it's best, and it's one of those things that if they still want to get together, everybody can get together and see it. But it's the fact that you know that our children are on the road and the school buses are not rolling. So,
and you know, depending on the traffic that we're going to have, of course, you know, we're guessing because we don't know, because it's not like these happen all the time. But with the fact that we're in totality for the majority of the county, you know, we might see an uptick in traffic, which is going to delay school buses. So it was better to get them to just no school buses that day.
Well, and I think sometimes, you know, you have to remember too that sometimes we saw this in Kentucky where they would just pull over. You know, so you have a lot of cars that possibly could just pull over, you know, maybe
at any given time.
Yeah, they could
That's one of the warnings we have.
Yeah.
Watch for people who just, you know, decide they want to take a picture, or either trying to take a picture while they're driving, which, you know, people will do that.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Don't do that. You know, pull into a parking lot. Do not pull on the side of the road. Our roads here in Washington County aren't that wide to begin with. We don't need cars parked on the side of the road just to take pictures.
Right. No, it's true. Yeah, right. But they do, or like maybe they're in the middle of a meeting, getting ready to go on their way to a meeting, and they'll all of a sudden it's time, or you know, it's getting ready to start, so they'll pull over, and it's just you can't do that. You know, it makes it very difficult for the flow of traffic.
Right, and it makes it difficult for emergency services if we have to get through
too. That's true too. Yeah, for sure. So will everybody be on, all hands on deck?
Yes, there will be several police officers on. Obviously, we can't. You know, ISP is going to be tied up with the bigger areas. So they're going to be pulled more toward the center line of totality.
That would be the state police, yeah.
Right. And then, you know, the sheriff's department is going to have people out. The ambulance is going to have extra people on, and we're going to stage some of them so that, you know, north side, south side of Salem, since everything, you know, Salem is the hub. And all our main roadways come to Salem before they travel out to, you know, outlying areas. So, you know, the ambulance service has got they got a plan. They're good to go. The hospital is ready to go, just in case there's an uptick in things. So everybody has, you know, the firemen are going to be, firefighters are going to be manning their stations, some of them, so that if somebody pulls up, has an emergency, there's going to be somebody there to help them, and you know, get a hold of us to send an ambulance or whatever. So they have quite a plan in place.
Yeah, I was saying. So did you check with each one? Did you make sure, as the director, did you kind of go over everything and make sure everybody?
Yeah, I had a meeting with everybody. Yeah. And those that couldn't attend, I've reached out to and talked about different things that I suggest, because I don't tell any of them how to do their job, because they're all wonderful. They don't need my
no,
but
it's
just, you know, here's some ideas, some things I heard from other, you know, other counties, from other, you know, from research that I've done, something you may not have considered. Like one of the big things that I didn't consider it, the internet might go down, because people are going to be taking pictures and sending them to folks who can't be there. So they're saying that it might go down or may lag.
Yeah.
Cell phones, same thing.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. So your, you know, cell phone service might be spotty, because you're going to have so many people trying to make calls and send pictures and whatever they're doing. You know.
Right. Well, and I think that's good, and I think it's always nice, and I'm sure that they welcome that, you know, to hear and to talk and communicate and kind of, you know, tell what they've kind of got in place, and also take suggestions. I think everybody's very much welcome. I think we can't stress enough, and this always stay in front of things, like being prepared.
Right.
I mean, do you feel like, you know, like I know a lot of times in weather, like I will, you know, like, you know, back in the storm, you know, let's go back to snow, you know, we'll have been on many calls with National Weather Service where they're or bad storms.
Right.
And so it blew and went a different direction.
Yes.
And we, you know, maybe WSLM was off, but you know what, we were on that path.
Yeah. And prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Right.
Yeah. So I think I think that's something that I feel like that we should always stress, and I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
I think our county does a great job.
I think so too.
At staying prepared and what possibly could happen, you know. So we don't need all of that. That's great.
Right.
You know
exactly.
I mean? But we know
it's there in case we do.
Yes, exactly. We pray you don't. Yeah, that's right. So I think that's always good to food for thought. And I think in any situation, I think it's good for everybody to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, it's nice to know that. And so we might have several that, you know, maybe we do have several in our community, but we might have several going through.
That's correct.
And so that's
right. There's the neighboring counties are all having festivals. We have several things going on in our county that are going to draw people. We have food trucks. The winery is having a Sip and Eclipse. I probably said that totally backwards. Eclipse and Sip. That's going to be at the totally backwards, but at Hunter's Ridge.
If you sip too much, you won't see the.
You won't see the eclipse, or you'll have a very early eclipse.
Well, I was going to say,
yeah,
where the eclipse might last a little longer.
Yeah, and Wslm Sugar Bush is going to have a day-long picnic, so people can do things there. And you also have the John Hay Center is going to have camping, the actual center, not the lake. The center is going to have, and Delaney Park. The Speedway, all of those are going to have camping available if people want to come in and camp for the whole weekend and partake in some of the stuff that's happening all weekend. Murder and Mayhem is going to be going on. They're going to have tours and do the Murder and Mayhem tour around Salem. It starts with the Apothecary. The Apothecary has added some extra hours so that they're going to be open longer to serve the public. So people have really, really stepped up. We got a vendor's market going on Saturday and Sunday, with craft and things like that. So there's a lot of things to draw people in.
Wslm, we are selling t-shirts. We got t-shirts, and so anyway, we'll display them. And so it's kind of fun. You know, I mean, it's fun to do different, you know, for the community, and fun for.
And it's you know, it's just one time. It's not like, you know, we're going to do this every year. We're going to do this. This is it. You know, you're going to
one and done.
Money, one and done. Let's enjoy this and make the most of it, and hopefully, you know, bring some revenue into the county. And that's what the Chamber of Commerce is pushing for. You know, getting some people to come in and with revenue and things.
Right. Yeah. And we, you know, we will be. We'll also be playing the Pink Floyd's "Dark Side of the Moon." During the eclipse on the radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of fun and a great time for sure. You know, it is a definitely a exciting time. And, you know, and I guess so this eclipse will actually, the eclipse will exit the North America area, the Atlantic coast of Newfoundland to Canada at 5:16 p.m. So, and here's the thing though, we have to, I mean, for an eclipse to happen, I mean, everything has to be just right.
Right. Everything has to be, especially to get a total where you have the corona.
Yeah.
That is very rare.
Yeah. And I think that's something that, like, the weather has to cooperate, which we know.
Right. And what we've talked about is, you know, if north of us is cloudy, people are going to come here. So we may have quite a few more people in the area.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
It all depends on what the weather's going to do to us that day.
We shall see. And
yes.
And you know, even if you look out like for the extended forecast, you can't.
No, you can't. Yeah. Yeah, it changes by the hour.
I know. Here we were raining, and then like in the afternoon we have beautiful sunshine. Just like right, you know, I said you almost need a wardrobe change. In the morning it's chilly, it's kind of cold, it's freezing. I call it freezing. It's not. It's cold. Yeah. And then by the afternoon will be sweats and or not sweats, but t-shirts and shorts. Yeah. So it's like, you never know. So our next one is 2045. So it looks like that looks like Washington County is along the southmost point of the eclipse, and will be looks like in fact Salem will be Beale located in Knox County actually, and Vincennes along the path are the experience where the total darkness there for I think 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So I've never been to Beale. I don't think I've been to Beale, Beale, Indiana, and I know I've been to Vincennes. So I'm just thinking there. So they're 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So.
Right.
But we know that a lot of people, you know, from the south come through this area.
Right.
You know,
they'll either come through, or they'll just, depending on how far south they're coming, they'll just stop right in this area because they'll see the totality.
Yeah.
It may not be for 4 minutes, but it, you know, You've got 2 minutes to take your picture, so
Yeah.
if you can't get it in that time, you've got a problem.
Yeah, get the lens cover off. You know, that's not an eclipse. That's your lens cover. So, do you remember 2017?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Where were you at?
My kids and I were in the backyard. My son rigged up a thing to take pictures of it, so we got some really cool pictures of the eclipse. So.
Yeah. Now, this is something too. We need to make sure that people remember eyewear.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm gonna let you kind of give us a little bit of schooling on that. Sure.
You can't just use the regular sunglasses. I don't care how dark they are. You need to get the approved eyewear. You can get it at Walmart. I'm sure there's several other places. I happen to see them at Walmart. So
which Walmart? Yes, and they want to shout that loud.
Yes, and they have a lot of T-shirts too if you want to commemorate.
Yeah.
So if you got to get an Wslm T-shirt and then a Walmart T-shirt.
That's right.
So
That's right.
you got to remember.
Appreciate
but
that.
they have a lot of things, but you have to wear the proper eyewear. Do not look directly at it. It can cause damage to your eyes, and it's permanent damage. It's not, oh my gosh, I did something to my eyes, they'll be better in a week. You can cause permanent damage, so do not look directly at the eclipse.
Right. What about for small children? It's hard. I remember back in 2017, everybody was so worried because, like, with children, and like with school too, because it was during the school time, and I remember like teachers were trying to figure out, like, if a kindergartner or younger, we're not going to have that problem this year or this time around.
Right.
But I remember that. So for those at home, if you bring your little ones out, trying to make sure that they keep those glasses on. You know what I mean? I remember that was they slide off or,
right.
or glasses. And it's so important, though.
Yeah, the glasses are kind of big, but if you can put them behind their head and maybe put a hair tie to hold them in place so that they don't slip down, you don't want their little eyes exposed to that.
Right. Yeah, and I think those are things just to remind people of that, making
Absolutely.
sure that you stay safe.
You've got to be safe.
Yeah, we got to take care of your eyes, and like you said, just regular sunglasses. A lot of times people think regular sunglasses work. They don't.
Right.
You need something a little stronger.
Right. They've got to have the right UV to keep the rays from getting through and doing damage to your corneas.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So I'm sure you can get them just about everywhere. I know the Chamber of Commerce was going to get some. Tourism was going to get some. So a lot of places do have the glasses. Please make sure you have them for yourself and your kids.
Makes my eyes hurt thinking about.
Just thinking about,
how, like, we've all been out like in the sun, and you look up, and all of a sudden, just it's like your eyes, they kind of burn. If you're on a sunny day. And,
right.
And anyway, so definitely take care of those eyes and make sure that you have got that under control.
And some of the other things to consider, if you can get your groceries, get your gasoline, get everything you need before the day of the eclipse, because if we have a lot of people traveling through, not only is there going to be a lot of purchase power going on, if there's a problem with the internet, some of the ATMs won't work, some of the gas pumps won't work. So plan ahead. Make sure your gas tanks are full. Make sure you have your groceries, so you're not caught in the traffic. Are we going to have 10,000? Who knows? Are we going to have traffic jams? Who knows? We don't know. But we're planning on it because it's a good possibility.
Right. And like we just said, being prepared.
Right.
Right. So, it'd be kind of hard to do your online groceries. Grocery pickup during the eclipse.
Yeah. That would be kind of tough. Yeah.
They say, "Does this lettuce look right?" I can't see it. Well, sure, it looks right. Or wait, think if you were that smooth that you did online groceries and you ordered the glasses on your grocery list, and you're sitting out there in the parking lot, online groceries with your eclipse glasses on,
watching the eclipse.
That'd be too smooth.
Yes.
Deni, I'm not that organized. I'm not that smooth. I would not be. But I'm with you on that. Yeah, it's for our locals. We know the Hoosier hospitality. We know how to behave. It's going to be exciting, and you want, when people come into the community and stop and get gas, get groceries, eat, you want them to have a great experience of Salem, or Washington County, the county, everybody,
Absolutely.
and it will be countywide, and so it's something that you want to put on your best. It's like your children.
Yeah,
Put on your best
behavior. Yeah, the biggest thing is have patience. If you do end up getting caught in the traffic, please have patience.
Right.
You know, people aren't going to know the area. If somebody is driving down 56 or 60 and they think, oh, I'll just take this road for a shortcut, not knowing our county that our roads do not go in a straight direction for very long. So they'll have no idea where they are. You know, they're going to be slowing, stopping. So have some patience with our visitors that are coming through.
Right.
So.
Well, I was thinking the square.
Oh, yeah.
Be very kind, because, you know, that is something, you know, that we, and I know we got construction going on, but I'm not even talking about construction. I'm just talking about our square. You know, if you, you know, which lane you're going to be in, you know, people back up from the square. You know, these are things that a lot of times, like, you'll see, and, like, you could always tell from out-of-towners, or, you know, that because they'll stop when it's time to go, or they'll go when it's time to stop. You know what I mean?
Right. They're just not familiar.
Yeah, they're not familiar.
And then they, you know, come around the corner and they don't know what lane they're supposed to be in, and
which can be confusing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just things to, just like you said, be patient, be kind, and you know, and realize that this is their first time. You know, they always, you know, we always just a joke. You know, if you can make it around the Salem Square, then you can drive anywhere. You know what I mean? So I think that's, you know, those are things to remember. And we do have construction going on, and
right.
And again, you have to trust the process on that. It'll be nice, you know. I guess it's a little bit. A lot of people were not real tickled about I call them islands, but they say but you know, I'm not. You know, this was not a city. It was a state job, and they obviously thought enough of our community to invest money in our community, and this is supposed to be for safety.
That's correct.
And so that'll be something, you know, and of course, you know, you just got to, you know, keep an open mind until it gets done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I, you know, I know there's been, I have seen a lot of, you know, not semis, but I've seen a lot of people because we have a lot of people with, you know, farm equipment and trailers. I've seen them go through, so it does fit. You know, a lot of times people were like, is it going to fit the trailers, or I've seen them going around, and they do fit. So, you know, and we'll see, you know.
Yeah. And I think it'll look pretty when it's done.
Yeah, and they're working on it.
Right now it's kind of a pain, but
yeah,
you know, anything's a pain before it gets done.
Well, you have to trust the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to, you know what I mean? You have to just kind of just see what, look at our bypass out there.
Yes.
And the roundabout out there. That's really nice. And that was very scary for a lot of people. A lot of people were not real tickled about that. And I think it's beautiful. I think when you come in, I think it looks really nice. Right.
And it's not hard to navigate. You know. It's not like the one in Jeffersonville, which has 16 different lanes. And
they a lot of people,
loop there, loop here.
Oh, yeah. Or if you go up, and I'm just gonna, you know, Carmel, they have like several. It's like the Six Sisters. You know, our Six Sisters in our county. They have 6 roundabout, like 6 sisters. I think they're like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. You just go round and around and around. Yeah. So we, you know, we're very, you know, and they've got it. They understand it up there. That's great for them. But on ours, I do think that I'm very proud of our community. We've got it down. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've got it. You know, I think everybody was right on board with it, and I think that that's something that I'm giving snaps and claps to our community for figuring it out.
Yes.
We got it. Yeah. But it is nice. I think that looks nice. So I think things like that, you know, at first change, you know, is kind of like, but anyway, we'll see, and they are investing in our community to make it safer, and and if that does, you know, if that helps out, then yay for that. I agree. Well, I think that would be very top priority on your list.
Yes,
you know, the safety.
Safety.
For sure. So, and with that, with the construction and stuff, and bringing more people coming in, again, patience is something that we want to say it louder for the people in the back to hear. You know, make sure.
Yeah, have patience. And if you can stay home that day, stay home.
Yeah, that's
watch the eclipse.
Isn't
you know,
nice?
or get to where you need to be, or you want to be, if you want to go to one of the events, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But try to avoid the times. I think the first time it's going to be a problem is after the total is done. We'll have people leaving, and then you'll have the people who wait until, you know, it's almost totally sunny again before they'll leave. So we'll probably have 2 waves of traffic.
Well, it might be better though, right? Because
I
then
hope
it
so.
won't be so everybody
at
once,
one
like,
time.
Yeah, like
right.
leaving a concert, you know, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot. There's a concert going on. I think Orange County has a concert, and I think there's a lot of different things like that going on too. And like I said, you know, they're going to try to avoid the interstates because that was the big problem with Hopkinsville. Was the interstates got really clogged up. So they're going to want to go the state routes or state roads, and that's going to lead them right to us.
Right. Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, it's definitely exciting, and getting prepared for it. And April the 8th. And Deni, I'm really proud of you. Like, I think you've thought of every angle, right? Is that?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, I mean, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
That you can't. I always like. It's like, I don't know, with children. You know what I mean? You always think, you know, okay, you know what, you know, which way, which direction are they going to go? What are they going to do?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden.
Or what are they going to need? What are you going to put in this bag?
Oh. And it, you know, I mean, think about, like, you know, vacation. You know, I mean, you pack everything and then you know, I always overpack.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
You know, I go for 2 days and I got enough clothes for like a month.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you never know.
You don't know what you're going to feel like that day.
Thank you. Yeah, and what shoes? Think about the shoes you're going to wear, you know, and snacks.
Yes.
Got to have all that. So it is, you know, it is hard to prepare, and that's something, though, that emergency management, you have to think of every angle and figure it out. You know?
Thankfully, you've got the state helps you know. I've got a liaison with the state, Adam Reef, and he helps me out a great deal. And this is not something new. This is just something that we perpetuate and make better. So, you know, our county already has all the plans. Desi has put them, you know, in place, and now I just tweak them.
Right.
So, you know, so it makes it, you know, and things come up. One of the things they're talking about now is cybersecurity. That is a big thing for a possible cyber attack. You know, is it going to happen here? Don't know. But we have to be prepared for it, and that's one of the things we're going to work on. And that's something you obviously never considered years ago.
Right, and that's, what about, like, scams? Are we still, I mean, you know, there's always...
There'll always be scams.
I know, and like, right now, they say it's, like, a horrible time, or a bad time for that because of tax checks. People are getting tax checks. And shame on these people.
Right.
And I know, I've heard of the different ones that they've done, and it's so sad for families, you know?
Yes. They try to prey on the elderly.
Yeah.
Who don't understand the whole system. You know, they try to let you know the IRS is not going to call you. They're going to send you a certified letter to tell you to do something or to not do something. They're not going to call you up on the phone. Be wary of anybody who asks you for your personal information. Social Security number. Somebody you don't know. I mean, if you're making contact to a company and they need some verification for things, that's one thing. But if somebody calls you out of the blue and wants you to, you know, buy something or do something and they need all, don't give them your personal information. Never give them personal information. And nobody is going to tell you you won the Jamaica lottery if you didn't play the Jamaica lottery.
Right, right.
So, you know, don't, you know, they say, you know, you won this big prize, all you have to do is give us $5,000 and then we'll send you 50.
Yeah.
And then you're out $5,000. That is one of the bigger scams.
Yeah, and I think that the one that I was I listened to, it was really sad. They had said that they needed. They acted like it was a family member.
Yes. This is your grandson.
Yeah, and
I'm in jail.
Yeah, yes.
And because the people, you know, when you get a phone call and you know, and I say to you, this is your daughter. Your instinct is to say a daughter's name.
Yeah.
So now I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so, I need this money, and you know, if you and nobody's going to take payment in Walmart gift cards for a bond or anything like that. That's another thing that they always tell you. Go get, you know.
Yes.
Go get Walmart gift cards, or go get these gift cards and send them here, and that'll, well, you know, that way it's more secure than sending money. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was really sad because they had to say that, you know, there's no way, there's no line of tracing that, and it's very sad. Yeah. So I think that's something that
they can get on a computer and they can. I can't, but there are people out there smart enough to use your phone number. Yeah. And it'll come up, you know, Becky White, and it's not you.
No, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, and or it'll look like a local number or something.
Local numbers.
Thinking, oh, it's a local number. You know. Yeah. So those are just things to keep in mind.
Right.
It's always good food for thought, and you hate to think that. And then the cyber, like you're talking about, security and making sure, and
authentication, and you know, be careful where you're getting on Wi-Fi. things like that. You just don't want people to steal your information, because once they have it, they can run with it.
Yeah, and it's sad to think that, but it's something that just good food for thought and good reminders, you know.
Right.
And especially this time of year, it seems like they really start crawling out.
Yes, they do.
They're crawling out of the woodwork.
Under the rock and doing their thing.
They go back. Yeah. So, yeah. So those are good things, good food for thought. And is there anything else too? I guess also, you know, with the winds and stuff, fire safety, making sure that people.
Right. I mean, if you can come outside and you can physically see the trees moving, please don't burn.
Yeah, I was gonna say burning.
You know, it's common sense. You know, everything is common sense. Make sure you know, if you're going to have a fire, if you're going to do the camping, you know, for the eclipse, don't leave the area until you're sure that fire is out. We certainly don't need any big fires or any field fires. I know there's a lot of people who are opening up their fields, some fields, for, you know, viewers. If they want to park in the field and watch it, and, you know, just be careful, be respectful of the property you're on, be respectful of the people who are there with you.
I think we had a lot of field fires too. You know, people, you know, maybe just, or, you know, where, you know, things have got away from people.
Right.
So you just got to be so careful. Remember the campaign about Smokey the Bear. We just need to, you know,
Bring Smokey back. That's right.
Yeah, Smokey needs to come back strong, because. And I'm all for it. I love camping. You know, I love the, you know, sitting around a fire. I'm all for that. I love every bit of that. But you also have to be so careful and be very wise on how you do it.
Right.
You know, or if you want to burn some items, you know what I mean, and then you
don't want to endanger anyone else.
No, absolutely not. So those are just good food for thoughts on your spring cleaning up, you know, and getting prepared. And of course, we know also. I saw this the other day where when you're mowing, try not to blow the grass into
the road. That's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous to motorcycles.
Yeah. I think a lot of I've seen them sharing that a lot on social media.
And it's getting warmer. They're out. Be aware. You know, watch for them. Now, sometimes we get so used to the winter and they're not out, and you're not really looking for them. Really look for somebody on a motorcycle.
Right. And of course, you know, these are just good safety, you know, safety rules. And of course, in our community, you know, no matter what, we still have deer that pop out round and, you know, round and round. They still make their presence. Or the other day, someone's huge dog, you know, so, you know, you never know what. And I remember whenever we had the tornado, that horse, remember the horses got out. There were some horses that got out, so.
And we did, and sometimes at night we do have.
Or was it cows? Horses or cows?
We get cows and horses out all the time, just on a regular night. That you know they get through a fence or things like that. So you really have to pay attention when you're driving the county roads.
Right, and you just want everybody to stay safe. I mean, you know, just food for thought. Just thinking that your area that you're in. You know, I think it was. I can't remember if it was a cow. I think maybe it was a cow, and I think, you know, someone said, well, "Why is a cow on the road?" Well, in a rural community, cows do get out.
Yeah, cows are here. They were here before you. Yeah.
That's their land. That's their area. They kind of have a right to be there, you know. So it's just, you know, just kind of things that, you know, that just to remind people in the rural area of things when they're coming through or going through.
And people have to remember, again, with this eclipse, a lot of people who are going to be coming through this area are not from rural areas.
True.
So they're not used to the things they might encounter in Washington County.
Yeah, they're not used to the things we see. That is true. Yeah, big difference. So good food for thought, but definitely, you know, we are ending March into April, and it's going to be a busy time for. Of course, you know, our farmers are going to be getting their crops out, getting a lot of planting going to be done, stuff going on, and
a lot of slow-moving vehicles,
farm equipment, and I always remind everybody
patience.
And those farmers are the ones that feed us, so we better support them. You know what I mean? I'm 100% with the farmers. You know what I mean? And you get behind a slow-moving tractor or they actually usually are pretty fast now. So.
Yeah, they are. But even if they are, you know, if they are slow, a lot of times they'll let you pass. They'll pull, you know, off to the side, and then they'll let you pass and things like that. But you know, if you can't pass, you can't pass.
Right, and don't try to you know, be very aware of that. And they are the ones that are fixing or getting food for us, so they're feeding us. So let's be very good to them. Right, for sure. So it's just, these are just good food for thoughts for the spring and coming into it. And so this is actually, how long have you been in this position?
January 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
So new things ahead. So this is
New
your
things
first
ahead.
spring.
This is
Yeah.
my first spring. This
Yeah.
is my first weather season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've already been out on one weather call, and I've already went out on one chemical spill. So
Oh.
I hit the ground running.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
that's very much yeah.
Yeah.
Those chemical spills are really very dangerous, and a lot you just
Right.
don't know always, you know, whenever you go through the drills, you don't know, I mean, things that you don't think about,
Right.
you know, sometimes in everyday life.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, this was diesel fuel. It wasn't a large amount, but it was enough that, you know,
Mhm.
it had to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you see some of these things
Oh.
that happen, and ugh, I just don't want anything like that happen here.
No, right, yeah, no, yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
But and then as far as the weather and everything, you know, we pray that this, you know, this time of year that the winds and everything behave.
We have had some pretty windy days.
We have.
We really have. I mean,
Yeah.
the damage that was done was a straight line wind, and they estimated at 80 miles an hour. It did damage on Franklin School Road. So, you know, we've had some hefty winds.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people don't realize that that's like how much the wind can do.
Right.
Damage
Mhm.
the wind.
I mean, everybody is worried about tornadoes, but straight line winds are just as damaging.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's good to know that too.
Mhm.
Well, Deni, you're just full of knowledge. Please come back and visit, and keep us in the know. And I appreciate. I'm looking forward to working with you, and
Look forward to looking at you.
I think you're the perfect person for the job. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
on
you very
that.
much.
And that speaks volume because it is a big county, but you'll do a great job. And I think we're very blessed to have you.
Well, thank you.
And I think all
appreciate
of the
that.
officers, all of the dispatchers from everywhere, you know, from from the EMTs to the fire department, we have got the best of the best.
Mhm.
Don't you feel?
I do. I really
mean,
do.
and
They're
I know-
very dedicated.
Yes, and I don't know, you know, this is where I've lived, this is where I call home.
Mhm.
I'm sure other counties, but are fantastic too. But
Mhm.
I can brag on ours that I think ours are just right up there.
Right,
tier-
because
top
most of the
tier.
people you have working in these services are from this county
Yeah.
or do live in this county, so
Yeah.
they're protecting their own.
You're gonna give me chills on your I love that. I do. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out, and keep up the good work. So we got the eclipse coming up on the 8th
On the 8th.
of April.
Mhm.
You are prepared. It sounds like everybody's getting prepared for that.
Right.
Exciting time, and let's get our community to be on our best behavior.
Yeah. Don't forget to wear your glasses and make it a memorable experience.
Take care of those eyes.
Yes.
Buy your T-shirts.
Buy your T-shirts. WSLM T-shirts. You got to get those.
Jenny, I love that. Thank you so much. All right, want to thank our sponsors this morning: Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Purley Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Wind Horse for Home, Paley in English, and McAllister Land Consulting. Everyone, and Deni, let's have the best day ever, all right?
Absolutely.
Planning to buy some land or build a new home or maybe put up a fence? Do you know your property lines? Are you in a floodplain? When it comes to surveying your property, call someone you can trust with years of experience. That's McAllister Land Consulting. Call 812-274-0860, providing fast, friendly service at reasonable rates. McAllister Land Consulting can provide a wide range of services, including residential and commercial certified land surveys, flood elevation certificates, and land usage consulting. Get to know your property. Call McAllister Land Consulting for a free quote today at 812-274-0860.
The world's biggest bourbon and music festival, Bourbon and Beyond 2024. A perfect blend of bourbon, culinary, and music with Zach Bryan, Dave Matthews Band, Tyler Childers, Neil Young, Beck, and Louisville's own My Morning Jacket, Matchbox 20, Cody Jinks, Maren Morris, The Head and Heart, Tedeschi Trucks Band, The National, Whiskey Myers, Chris Isaac, Young the Giant, Teddy Swims, Milky Chance, and more. September 19th through 22nd in Louisville, Kentucky. Single day and weekend passes, camping and hotel packages. On sale now at bourbonandbeyond.com.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Do you wonder what it would be like to live without hip or knee pain? Joint replacement at Schneck Orthopedics and Sports Medicine makes it easier than you think. Schneck is proud to be one of the first in the region to offer Mako robotic arm-assisted joint replacement surgery. This latest advancement transforms the way joint replacements are performed. Mako allows your surgeon to provide you with a personalized surgical experience based on your specific diagnosis and anatomy. This means less soft tissue damage and greater bone preservation, less blood loss, less pain, fewer days in the hospital, and faster recovery. Taking a walk, riding a bike, and playing with your grandchildren. These are just a few of the simple joys in life. But for those with bone and joint pain, these simple joys are often too painful or unbearable to truly enjoy. With Mako robotic arm-assisted surgery at Schneck, you can get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at SchneckOrtho.com.
Hello, Salem and Washington County. Are you ready to design your dream living space? This is Alyssa with Windhorse for the Home in Paoli. With a short drive to Paoli, you can have all the products and services to make your vision come to life. We stock a wide selection of high-quality furniture for your home like Ashley and Catnapper. We also offer brand-name appliances such as Speed Queen, Whirlpool, and Maytag. At Windhorse for the Home, we can help make your house a home with easy financing, free delivery, and free in-home setup. Let me help design the home of your dreams. Windhorse for the Home, located in Paoli, Indiana, 812-723-3535. Now serving Salem and Washington County.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving me. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
See your Michelin dealer today for the Michelin Defender tire. It's the tire that delivers what you want. Outstanding safety, more miles and fuel efficiency, all backed by an 80,000-mile limited warranty. Don't sacrifice. Ask for the Michelin Defender tire today at your local Michelin dealer. Find the right Michelin tire and get the expert service you deserve at Du Bois County Tire and Supply in Jasper, Davis County Tire and Supply in Washington, and Knox County Tire and Supply in Vincent. See manufacturer's limited warranty book for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Indiana's going to win it, and they have won it!
5 times national champions, 22 conference championships.
3 on the way, yes!
17 Big Ten Players of the Year.
Throws up a shot, hit it again!
7 Basketball Hall of Famers, and countless memories on the court.
Trace puts it up, he got it! What a spin move!
This is Indiana Hoosiers basketball.
Introduce your family and friends to one of Salem's oldest traditions, home cooking from Mama Rosa's in Salem. Whether you're getting that one-of-a-kind tasting pizza, baked spaghetti, hot sandwiches, or a variety of other Italian food and artisan pizzas, Mama Rosa's has something for everyone. Open Tuesday through Thursday 4 to 9 for dining and carry-out, Fridays and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays from 11 to 9. Mama Rosa's brings their famous pizza buffet to you on Fridays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for just $10.99. Choose from a wide variety of pizzas, homemade soups, and a large salad bar with their homemade potato salad, slaw, and desserts. Then come back for Friday night's home-style buffet from 4:30 to 8 or 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays for $12.99, where you'll find a variety of good home-cooked foods. Stop in and see Joanne and her family at Mama Rosa's and make some new memories or relive your childhood with that one-of-a-kind taste. Dine in or call 812-883-6296 to take the great taste of Mama Rosa's pizza home with you.
At At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Greg has a timer that none of us are in on. We don't know what the standard is. That if food is left on the table for a certain amount
About
of
2
time,
days.
a certain amount of time, and he gets.
I'll give loaf bread about 4 days.
All right, he has a timer that eventually he will attack it, either with an atomic elbow and crush the packaging with the food. He'll punch it. He'll
lay it on the floor and like Superman dive on it.
My favorite.
Well, it's not just food, Rick. He also does boxes.
Oh,
empty
boxes. That's how it
boxes.
started.
He does shelves.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, all that stuff.
I like to take the loaf bread and start swinging it over my head, just pounding it.
Right, to break it.
I'm not sure
Bread
that
flies everywhere.
I don't know that it might be some sign of mental illness. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not an expert.
well, if you hear him say
He's just releasing
he
energy.
thinks it's staring at him, then
Well, I keep walking by and it's still there, and I said, "All right, here it goes." If it's still there when I come by, it's going to be an elbow right in the middle of the bread.
And so Greg saw a certain cake or something that's been left in there for several days. No one would throw it away or eat it. So
we've eaten some
Well,
of it.
it was
just not
part
all
of it was eaten. It just wasn't
Well, we
finished.
can't eat all. That was that day we got. Remember, we had a bunch of stuff.
Right.
It was crazy.
And so Greg went to attack it, right?
I did.
And you chose the punch.
I went with the punch.
Like that.
I don't know why. I just.
It was the hammer. He
The
did
hammer punch, like
Oh,
you
it
do
was
in
a hammer
UFC,
punch.
like in the
Okay.
UFC when they do the hammer
But
punch.
sadly, it had a toothpick in it.
Yes, Rick, it had toothpicks in it. I've never seen nothing bleed that fast.
I
It
know.
was a tiny
It's
hole.
because you had a hole poked in your hand.
Because you punched a toothpick cake, Greg.
Dude,
Yeah. And so
I looked immediately.
Greg
and
starts slinging blood everywhere, like there's some sort of.
I thought it was the food going somewhere to begin with, because there was, there was.
it was a lot of blood.
Which explains why you were in tears.
I thought, don't waste that food.
Right.
The
Yeah,
weekend's coming.
Rick Bubba was openly weeping. Right. Adler's screaming like a maniac.
Because it looked like an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
What was the move on the trash can, though?
Yeah, you were doing something
So,
with that trash
so when you
can.
see blood, you hump trash cans?
You can't say that.
Is that what you do?
I was so worked up.
That really happened, by the way. Am I making it up?
What kind of twisted response is that?
Kevin would have been impressed.
What kind of twisted response is that?
I was attacking.
Bubba's down.
I was freaking out so much because of the
I'm
blood.
trying to do better.
I
Y'all
was
are not
attacking the
helping.
trash can.
Rick, he got
with
hung
my-
in the motion. You know when dogs get hung in the motion, they walk off their stuff. That's what he did.
I was attacking the trash can with my crotch, okay? I wasn't doing what you were saying.
Oh, well, that's better.
Yeah.
What was
so much better.
what was your message?
Look, everybody was freaking out. Everybody
What did
was,
garbage can do?
everybody was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I just did the
Rick, he
first
was
thing I thought I should
screaming.
do.
Can I bring the garbage can in
I
here?
didn't
and
see
you
y'all
reenact?
doing anything else. I was being proactive, not reactive. Okay.
Listen, let me ask y'all something. He was.
I did what I just instinctively would do, and that is leave the area.
Yeah, Bubba
because
didn't
it's
like
trouble.
it. So concerned.
Yeah, your knuckle looks like you punched it on the way out. What happened with your knuckle? Right?
Rick, and I tried to do that thing where you go, that ain't much. And I said, well, that's bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
Greg tried to play it down. I saw blood all over the floor in there.
He was
It was like
in
a
the
bar
sink,
fight.
But it was a tiny puncture.
hand in the sink, real hurt. And then I look
What-
over later. I look through the little glass window in Speedy's office,
Hey,
and Speedy's bandaging Greg up. And neither of them want
Speedy's the
anybody to
first aid
see.
guy.
Oh,
Speedy's
yeah.
the first aid
Yeah.
guy.
All right. So, but Adler, I got to go back again.
I don't know what that was.
It seemed like
What
there
was that
it seemed like there was so much pent up. That's what it looked like to me.
It never ended. I heard him, okay, he's screaming, he's going, and all of a sudden I hear him go to another scream. That's when I turn around and look, and he's hung in the motion.
Okay, I come in.
He was. Rick heard it
because he gets picked on.
Rick, we were in here and we heard that scream, and I thought, what in the world?
That was his version. That was his version of finally. You remember? I remember when something
was finally there.
Something happened in his mind. He was like, "I've been waiting on this moment for something bad to happen to Greg."
Yeah.
And you were so happy.
I just,
I apologize. I recovered.
It's like you would go back in and you'd go at it again.
Yeah. Really what it was is that everybody was kind of freaking out, and so I was just like, all right, I'm going to freak out to the utmost level, but I really don't care.
All right, can I try?
I'm actually kind of happy.
Can I say something? Can I say something? You go, yes, Rick, you just nailed it, okay? It happened to me. It happened to me the other day. A person pulled out in front of me, could have caused a wreck, and I gave him a little honk honk. And they gave me, I'm talking about the biggest, most it was a bicentennial bird right in my face. And, and as they were shooting me a bird, if they could have hit a telephone pole, you know what I mean, and then crashed their car, I'd have been like, you know what I mean? Is that what you're talking about?
It is.
Something along
those lines, that's what it was.
The way you were screaming, and then you got down with the...
It's like you got down with the blood, and you were like... He was screaming at the blood.
You were so glad Greg got hurt.
He was screaming at the blood while humped over, and the trash can just happened to be there.
Yeah, asking the trash can who his daddy was.
Adler, how have you let this turn into be about you?
I'm trying not to. Honestly,
Greg punched toothpicks.
I know.
But he missed that fiasco, though.
It's a great point, Bill Bubba.
Hey, I'd rather punch a toothpick and a cake than hump a trash can.
Greg, please stop saying that.
That's my two choices.
Yeah. I want to be known for the guy who punched the cake as opposed to the guy who humps the trash.
Still saying it, Greg. I'm not sure if you should continue to say that.
Tell him you were dancing with it.
I was dancing.
Burgess, there's two paths today.
I was attacking the trash can. I was attacking the trash can with my crotch, number one. And Rick, the guy told me he flicked you off because you kept talking about how much weight you lost.
Debt keeps you tossing and turning at night. You can't get away from it. Insanely high interest credit cards and loans make it nearly impossible to pay off your debt. There's a new way out of the debt trap, Pivotal Debt Solutions. Pivotal Debt Solutions can cut or even eliminate interest. They can find programs to write off your balances. They find every solution possible to end your debt. Before you do anything, contact Pivotal Debt Solutions first. Talk to them for free. Find out how fast they can help you get out of debt. Just visit zapmydebt.com. That's zapmydebt.com. There's a popular saying out there, health is wealth. And folks, I couldn't agree more. If you're dealing with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor, a daily drug-free supplement developed by doctors. It's not just a pill that masks pain. Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that work together to help reduce or eliminate pain. Try their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. You can also find the link at rickandbubba.com under the sponsors. Okay, if you're facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, or struggling to make monthly payments, you need to know there are special services available right now that can significantly reduce what you pay each month by 40% or more. And that means if you qualify, you could save hundreds of dollars every month. Most people don't know that these services are available to help Americans with overwhelming credit card debt get significant savings and immediate financial relief without filing bankruptcy. That's why Accredited Debt Relief was established. And they've established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you might qualify for. They've helped consumers pay off over $1 billion in debt. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need. The information's free. So call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now, 1-800-885-3500. 800-885-3500. Program and services not available in all states.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no. I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that. The Climate 360 smart bed actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save up to $1,000 when you purchase select Sleep Number smart beds and an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jack!
Jackson Hewitt.
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt.
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online. Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's with limited time deals on everything you need. Right now, buy one select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get one DeWalt 20-volt max power stack battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Plus, save $20 on a select bucket of Deck Plus wood screws. Find these deals and more in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
When was the last time you checked your home's title? Is it still in your name? Fox News reported on a growing, devastating crime called house stealing. The titles to all our homes are easily found online. A criminal, a renter, or even a family member simply forges your signature on a home sale form and refiles as the new owner. Bam, your home is not in your name. Has some criminal taken over your title? Find out with a free comprehensive scan of your home's title and 30 days of legendary home title lock protection when you go to HomeTitleLock.com and use the promo code Bubba.
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Speedy, you and Bubba said y'all saw something that troubled you after I left last weekend. I had to leave in the middle of the Dream Ranch Part 2 hunt last weekend, and that was the weekend that Dad was hunting there with everybody. And you guys said y'all saw something that troubled you.
Y'all are going, they're telling it wrong. I'm going to tell it as accurate, and since Bubba was a witness.
Did you see
Bubba,
the whole
you
thing,
can jump
Bubba?
in. I will tell this as accurate as I can tell
I'm going to turn
it.
Greg's mic off to you.
Thank you. Your dad goes out to the car, and it was quite a walk to the car. He comes back in. He's got like his overnight bag.
All the way to where we park up on top?
Yes.
Okay.
And like he needed something, something I think it was a bag or something.
All right.
And I want to say this was Friday evening. No, Saturday evening, because you left. Yeah, it was Saturday evening. And while he's there, he goes, "Oh, hey, by the way, Greg, here's this shirt. I can't wear this. It's not my right size or whatever." And he gives him a shirt.
What kind of shirt?
It was one of these. It's one of these shirts that it was kind of like an outside work shirt where on the inside it's kind of insulated, but it's flannel shirt kind of thing.
Flannel shirt, Bubba. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's what it looked to be. I wasn't immediately in on the conversation. I was in the area.
Looked like a flannel shirt that has the insulated inside.
Yeah. All right. Well, instead, Greg never says, "Oh, thanks, Pop." Whatever. He never says that. First thing he says, "Why'd you bring this in here?" Greg. He says, "Well, why'd you bring this in here?" And he starts ragging on your dad for bringing him the shirt. Now, your dad replies, "Well, I was out in the car and I just wanted to give it to you. I was going to forget." No. And Greg, I'm saying is as accurate as possible. We get your dad on the phone right now. Okay. Oh, whatever. and so Greg goes into this thing about why he brought it in and starts ragging on your dad.
At this moment.
Yes. And your dad says, to the point where it kind of hurts your dad's feelings.
How great it must be.
He says, "You know what, with a bad shoulder and all this, I'll still whoop your..."
Right.
Now
that's believable.
Yes. And so every time he would turn around, Greg would look at me and make fun of the fact he brought a shirt in.
Bubba, do you agree with this so far?
Yeah, we're very close. I wasn't in the details of it.
Right.
But I was.
But did you hear Greg saying today, why don't you give me this to us right now?
Now, this is. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is two-part now. So
Okay, all right.
you got this part, okay?
All right.
So they get through this, and Greg's kind of poking fun at him, and your dad tried to explain, hey, I was going to forget if I didn't give it to you. Okay,
Right.
so I'm giving it to you, which I can understand.
Greg didn't
that.
like the
You
timing, or he
brought
didn't like
this-
the shirt?
No, Greg couldn't understand why he brought it all the way to Dream Ranch. First of all,
Right.
why didn't you just give it to me at another time? Second one is, why in the world would you give it to me in the middle of the hunt instead? Why didn't you just give it to me when we're leaving? But your dad was like, well, I was going to forget.
on my mind now.
I was at the car. I wanted to get it out, give it to you, and you can put it in your bag and go home.
Right.
Well, Greg just couldn't understand it. The next morning we wake up. The shirt is still sitting in the chair.
Oh, my gosh.
That Greg was sitting in, and your dad saw it, and I saw his face. And he looked like the little Indian that teared up, you know? And
Iron Eyes Cody?
Yes.
Yeah, on the side of the road.
Yeah. And he did. He couldn't believe it.
Did you see that part, Bubba, or just the other part?
Well, I saw it laying on the chair.
Right.
You know, the next day.
It just, I mean, like, Rick, it slid down in the back of the chair. It's just all wadded up. Brand new shirt.
You know what? I thought Greg had put it on and then taken it off and left it there.
Greg, your mic's off.
I'm gonna let Greg talk when everybody's done.
Well,
and then I'm gonna turn you off and let him tell his side of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is not gonna make any
That's fine.
sense.
No,
But,
I can tell you his side, and he's gonna say this goes back, and you can call Mom and all this kind of stuff. Fact of the matter is, he had a new shirt. He brought it to Greg, and Greg was ungrateful.
all right, Greg.
That's not true, by the way. Rick, you know how he does. Okay?
Don't pull
And
me in
you
it.
know what happened? You know what happened? Just like the reason that I said, why give it to me now? Because I forgot it. Just like, that's why. Don't give it to me now because I'm going to forget it. Why didn't you wait till we were leaving?
Are you trying to
Because,
spin up?
Dad, if he gets something.
Indianapolis, others are from Franklin, Indiana, and another one is from Greenwood. A baby girl with severe injuries and her parents are now in jail. In Anderson, Kurt Darling reports.
A 10-month-old girl was brought to Riley Hospital in Indy after her parents, Nicholas Arnett and Shelby Langford, said that she could not sit up on her own and had trouble eating and breathing. Doctors found several severe injuries to her brain and spine, plus bruising all over.
This is Network Indiana.
Good morning. It is Thursday. We got your day going here. It's going to be a wonderful day, too. Holy Thursday, Monday, Thursday, as we get ready for Easter on Sunday. Kent Stevens, Dylan Scott's on the radio. Can't have mine.